All right, this is a talk out loud, July 28th, 2026. So we're down in Kentucky, so we got some Kentucky cats we're looking at here. Okay, so let's just talk out loud. So this guy I grabbed, and this is a Ford catalytic converter set. Okay, it's not really a term in databases, I don't think, but I call these sticks because it looks like a stick. And on these, they come on F-150s and a couple other vehicles. And the nickname I think generally a lot of people use is Lobo for the back one. And then I think everyone agrees pre on the front one. Now, in the converter world, whenever you hear the word pre, I know the word technically means before, but in the converter world, just pretend you don't know that. Just think of pre as a little cat. Like we combine it. It's kind of some sloppy slang there, so just bear with it. It's a pre, but in this case it comes in front. But sometimes the pre's come in the back. So ignore the meaning of the word. Just think pre means little cat. Okay. So anyway, so we got the Lobo, we got the pre. Okay. So how do I know it's a Ford? Well, Ford likes to do dots and slots in the shield. So if you see something like that, it's a good chance it's a Ford. Ford likes to do this pattern right here. The company I work for would call that waffle shape. I'm sure a grenade or a pineapple. I think we call the pre a grenade as well. There's some different names for it. You can see the back here. Okay. So whenever we're grabbing a cat, one of the first things we want to do is look in the ends and make sure the material is in there. Okay, so how do you tell if a converter is full? So the biscuit will always be covered by the steel in like a really distinct shape. So like with this connecting pipe, it's just like a circle. So it's possible you could have like substrate like ceramic or foil that does go in there, but typically the biscuits are like a shape of some kind, oval, square, etc. So in this case, we got an oval, and so you can see the steel has like folded over the oval. Okay, so that to me indicates there's a probably biscuit here. And so when we cut that pipe and look inside, we can see it here. And then when we look down in here, we can see the biscuit here. So that's how we would know this one is full. Because the chamber comes here to here, the chamber for the biscuit that holds it. Okay, and the biscuit comes all the way up. And if we cut it open, we would see like a little gap in here, and like that's fine. So yeah, that's how you would tell if it was full. And so for the pre, when you look inside, it should be something like here to here. Typically, I think the industry practice is if you look in this side and it's full, and down there if it's full, I don't think anyone's really worried about cutting that apart and like checking that end. So anyway, yeah. So Ford, Lobo, they come on F-150s. I call them a stick, though that's not really a database term. And so generally, when you're going to find the code on these, there's a lot of space here. So then what you do is you grab them and see how the pipe has an angle. So we're going to point that down, all right? So point that pre down, and then when we check on this side, the code should be there or up there. So in this case, it's right here, 1L3C TAG. That's kind of heavy. 1L3C TAG. So how do I know that's the code? So on a Ford, they do several different patterns, but a good one to typically look for is a set of 4 digits with 3 or 2 letters. So in this case, what was it? 1L3C TAG, I think it was. So there's your 4 digits, the 1L3C. and then the 3 letters, TAG. So the nice thing about those 3 letter codes on Ford is typically if you look those up, it'll reference it immediately in the database, typically, because it's some kind of a noun. And someday we'll get to it. There's an interesting combination of words that Ford used, and I'm dying to like someday meet the engineer that designed the codes. We'll get to it someday. But yeah, like this has kind of become a video about like Fords and like these Lobos and everything. So I think I'll stick to this, and we'll end the video after talking about this. Keep it a little cleaner. I think so. Lobo pre, point it down to find the code. 4-digit code, 3-letter code. That's what you look for first. Try to find the 3-letter code. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I know about Lobos. I mean, there's different types. Longer, shorter ones, different shield types and designs on the pre's, but that's about it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess the final, you look it up in the database, I'm pretty sure the industry standard is they'll have a reference that indicates the back one, and then they'll just duplicate that title for the pre and like label it pre, but then it has its own like converter info. So in the database you would search tag and 1L3C tag, and whatever database will probably label it like Lobo or Reg or something like that, and there'll be a separate entry that'll be 1L3C tag pre, so like it'll describe it in some way like that. So I think that's typically how every database handles it. It's possible that some do a combined price, although I don't see anyone doing that because it's so easy to come across them with the pre separated. So I think that's a pretty safe way to look them up in any database. So just remember, whenever you look at this piece and you find that code and you look it up and it pops up like that back one, don't stop there. Don't forget the pre. So whoever you're working with, you need to, their data should have like the back piece and the front piece. So we'll keep going with this pile over here, but I think that's Lobos.